Okay, here we are. It's like October 17th. I'm just getting to the scary part of the boat, so to speak. But I wanted to show you where I'm at. I got the stem on in the front here. There's frame 5 right there. The book talks about how it's going to be real scary trying to bend the wood around the shear line on here. Going back to the rear of the boat, I now have the transom knee mounted. I took my brother's advice. I ran it all the way up to the frame here. The plans only called for it to come up to about here or so and be bolted to the keel with 2 bolts. Now I got 4 bolts in that thing, and there's going to be 2 bolts going through the keel. And I even got a couple lag bolts going through the frame into the back end of it. So that's really going to be secure. But the fun part is I got to put the key, the transom, the back end of the boat on. And all these planks here are going to come down these grooves and connect up to the boat, to the back end of the boat. But basically, there's nothing holding the back end of the boat. It's not sitting on this frame here. It's going to get bolted right through that thing. But somehow I got to hold this whole thing in place, right exactly where it needs to be, and then attach it to everything. And let me show you the transom, because it's big and it's heavy. Here we have the back end of the boat. It's 3/4 inch plywood, and it's not even done all the way. It's 3/4 inch plywood on the outside, and it's on the inside. It's got a oak frame going around it, but it's still got to have a motor area in here, a 3/4 inch plywood backing that goes all back in here to help support the motor. There's going to be a little cutout for the engine well. I haven't cut it out yet, but this whole thing is really heavy, and that's what all this lumber for here. I'm going to build some kind of a frame to hold it up exactly where I need it to be, so I can clamp it on and bolt it onto the back end of the boat. Because like I said, there's really nothing that holds it besides the keel, that little brace that's attached to the keel, and these little boards that are just traveling down the back of the boat and the sides of the boat and stuff from the front. But that's where I'm at right now, and wish me luck, because it's going to be a real project getting that on there. I have the bolts already. I got the stem already bolted on and the keel already applied on the whole boat. All the frames are now attached to the keel. I still have to, like I said, I got to put the bottom battens on, and I got to get that transom on, and then I'm going to have the fun part of trying to get the chine log on, which is this board right here. I couldn't even find one big enough, so I got a 1x2 piece of white oak, and 2 of them basically, 1x2, and I spliced them together right about here, and I'm going to try and put that on there. It's supposed to sit on all these little notches. Right here is the first frame. It comes all the way back to where the keel, the stem will, the transom will be back here. It'll travel along all these frames till you get to this frame right here, and then the whole thing has to turn and come down here and mount onto that brace right there. And that's a pretty sharp turn. It's going to be real fun getting that to bend around there. They talk about possibly soaking the wood a little bit with hot water, slicing it down the middle for 18 inches to help it bend on the end, and all different things. If I fail to do any of those and get it successfully on there, I'm going to try plan B, which is to go to a sawmill and get a piece made that is exactly the size I need out of green wood. And because they won't be kiln dried yet, it'll still be, fresh cut wood. And I'm thinking that will bend better. I'm just not sure how it'll affect the fact that it will be green, selling it on the boat. But I'd be willing to bet you that it won't hurt anything, because it's going to be underneath plywood. It's going to be epoxied in. It ain't going anywhere. There's going to be screws and and what have you holding it in. So, I mean, even if it was a crack or split or anything like that, it's going to be completely sealed. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. To be continued.